WWRR, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, WMMZ, Berwick, Bloomsburg, Hazleton, WYCK, Plains.
Powered by Mohegan Sun Pocono.
It's the New River, 105 and 103.5.
This is Music on the Menu on the River.
Timothy, where on earth did you go?
Featuring Northeast PA's best artists.
Maybe, never mind. She can move me like the stereo, like a song on the radio. She's an angel in the morning, yeah, that's me.
And now, here's your host, Alan K. Stout.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout, as I always am, Sunday nights, 9 to 10 o'clock, bringing your regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Hanging out with D.C. Taylor, who is a little bit far from the microphone tonight. Can you hear us over there, D.C.?
We're over here. I'm ready to roll.
And the reason DC is a little off mic tonight is because, as you know, if you listen to the show, once a month we have a lot of guests in the studio. We have John from SSP TV here tonight. Good to see you, John.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back 2 months in a row. I'm lucky.
Yeah, I know. You've been filling in a lot for Janine. You're like the regular co-host.
I know, and I'm honored to do it.
Well, we have a good time, and it's always great to see you. And we have the members of Empire in Decline here tonight. We've got Rick, Mike, and Ron all hanging out with us. They were just here on Wednesday night as part of Music on the Menu Live. They did a great show for us at Breakers, and we thought, well, since you're down in the studio here anyway, let's get him on the air like we always do and talk a little bit about the band. We're a little short on microphones, so we've got Mike and Ron here now, and Rick we're going to bring in a couple minutes too and ask him a couple of questions. But guys, first of all, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Alan.
And thanks for coming down to Breakers on Wednesday night. And it's always great to have you live on stage at the Music on the Menu Live series. That was the second time you'd done this series.
Correct. It's always a pleasure to be here.
And then I know when we were down at the Woodlands with Plus 3, you'd done it a couple times too. So we've done a lot of live broadcasts together over the years. And it's always fun to see you guys and have you in. Let's talk a little bit about the new record, Light Pollution. Came out late 2018, right?
That's right.
And,
September.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was towards the end of the year. That's when we start playing. So we've been playing stuff here on the show now from the record for about 6 months, five or 6 months. Your second album, it was the follow-up to the Rhythm of Regret record, which came out, about 2 years prior to that. Can you talk a little bit about, as a band, going from album number 2 from album number 1, what was your approach? What was your mindset? Was there we want to do this differently? Was there it ain't broke, don't fix it? This is who we are as a band. Like, what is the mindset for a band when you're going into and I know it's not your first album because you did a bunch of them with Plus 3 too, or a couple. So, but for this particular band,
All right. Well, the big difference with this one is that we recorded it ourselves. I've always had like a little project studio, and we were making demos, and then we were thinking about maybe sending the demos to somebody else to mix, and then it started to just come along, the way we were doing it ourselves. So we were lucky enough to get one of my guitar heroes, Ty Tabor from King's X, actually did the mastering for the disc. As far as the approach, our approach is kind of, we all have families and careers and stuff, so time is valuable. So it's sort of the same process of writing, but the recording was completely different.
And having that studio at your disposal, when you say your time is valuable, that obviously was incredibly valuable because you don't have to worry about booking a date and sticking to it. And if something comes up with the family or work, you can say, hey, we're going to do that session on Sunday instead of Saturday and so forth.
Right. The big thing is worrying about getting sick or something like that when you book a date. Sometimes you get stuck. Plus 3, that happened a couple times. So
yeah. And so self-produced as well. The mastering was done, but outside, but self-produced, all at your own place.
Yep.
It was definitely more relaxing. Like, you weren't rushed. We didn't feel like we had any time constraints.
Sure.
Took our time, and when we were happy, we moved on to the next song.
Well, I mean, it's not like it was your first rodeo. I mean, you did a couple of records with Plus 3, so I mean, you knew what. Imagine at this point, you know.
I actually recorded the first Plus 3, the EP that came out. That was done on like a 4-track back in the day.
That Happy Little Accident? Yeah, I remember that record. I still got that at home somewhere.
Yeah.
You did that by yourself too?
Yeah.
All right, see, so Sonic came full circle.
Bit. Hopefully a little better.
15 years later, right? Let's play one from Empire in Decline right now. This one's called The Open Road.
Please wash my mind today. I've had enough. There's nothing now that you can tell me. Your politics can't change my mind. Everybody get up, everybody get free. Everybody get up, everybody get free. Everybody get up, get up. It only takes one voice, and I can't get it out of my head. And if I had one choice, I'd take back all that I've never said. I've never said. It only takes one voice, and I can't get it out of my head. And if I had one choice, I'd take back all that I've never said. It only takes one voice, and I can't get it out of my head. And if I had one choice, I'd take back all that I've never said. I've never said. I've never said. I've never said.
+3 here on Music on the Menu on the River, with a song called Get Up. And before that, Empire in Decline with The Open Road from their brand new record, Light Pollution. We're hanging out here with a couple of the guys from +3. Well, all the guys, actually. We have Mike and Ron on right now. And, you know, guys, you know, we did get some music from you, actually, since the last album. We got the record in September. But then around Thanksgiving time, we got your new Christmas song. And that was kind of cool because we just played a track from +3. Mike Krakowski, who was originally with you guys in +3, he's on there with you as well. And I noticed just following you on social media and stuff that Mike is very supportive of Empire in Decline, and he's, you know, he likes your posts. And so it's kind of, obviously when that group broke up, there was no bad feelings. You guys all remained friends.
No, that was totally, it just kind of reached a point with everybody's careers and stuff. It just, the time, some of us just didn't have time. So, but we're all very close still.
So what was it like to get together with him and do a holiday song?
It was great. It was like back in the old days. Not that we're old.
See, I got this idea cooking for the song probably a year or two ago, and then I kind of sprung it on the band. And we were at the last minute. I wanted to get Mike on there. We sort of reprised our roles from the Chipmunk thing that we did.
Yeah, we always play that one too.
So it was a lot of fun. Even recording the sound effects like the doorbell and all that stuff was fun.
That is cool. And it was a nice addition to our holiday show, which we do every year. So thank you for sending it our way. We're going to play another one now from Empire in Decline. This was called Something You'll Never Give.
I keep it away from here. Some things that you want, some things that you know. I know I will be alright, left in places long ago. I should've known it when you asked me to change. I should've known that I'd be drifting away. I they'll never give. She said that she needed somebody. She wants to find a reason to live. She found him falling to pieces. She said she had something to give. So they dance with no music behind them. They laugh their troubles away and they cry as they dream together and they live and watch meteors fall. And watch meteors fall. He found something he could hold on to, someone he could understand. She was everything that he wanted. She was someone who he could not have. And they dance with no music behind them. They laugh their troubles away and they cry as they dream together and they live and watch meteors fall. And watch meteors Through all of their lives, they never knew how easy it could be until he looked into her eyes. They knew it was best to walk away from this simple twist of fate. Go on with their lives and never forget when they danced with no music behind them. They laughed their troubles away and they cry as they dream together and they live and watch meteors fall. And watch meteors fall.
+3 here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called Meteors. And before that, Empire in Decline with Something You'll Never Get. We're hanging out with the guys here tonight from Empire in Decline. They were just with us on Wednesday as part of Music on the Menu Live. And we're going to be talking with them more, as well as John from SSP TV's got a couple of questions for them right after the break, so stick around.
The Woodlands is celebrating 50 years. Do you believe it? 50 years. For 2 generations of the Kornfeld family, there's a pretty good chance that you or someone you know slept in one of their beds. Over those 50 years, most of you came out and partied with them on the deck for 5 Day, or inside the 25th Hour, or Evolution nightclubs. For 5 decades, how many of you have dined in their legendary Left Bank Bistro or Time Restaurant? And in half of a century, thousands of you celebrated your first dance in the Grand Ballroom. For 50 years, the Woodlands has been reinventing itself, and they're not done yet. Now, they're proud to introduce the area's newest outdoor wedding venue, the Bridal Gardens, and the creation of their Streamside Apartments. The Woodlands wants to thank all of you who got them there and invite you to swing by for sushi, grab some pizza, listen to some live music, or just stop in for a cocktail. They're not slowing down. They promise. They're just getting started. Check them out at thewoodlandsresort.com.
All right, we're back here on Music on the Menu on the River, hanging out with Empire in Decline, John from SSP TV. Now, I asked the first couple of questions, but we're also taping for the television side of the show tonight, so look for that on SSP TV in about a week or so. But, John, for here on the radio, you had a pretty interesting question you want to ask the guys from Empire in Decline.
Yeah, so when you guys were +3, the last time you guys played was around 2011. How long was it until you guys kind of reformed and rebranded and started playing again?
Well, I guess the start. I guess Ron was originally in +3 and left in 2005.
Correct.
Right. So then we had our friend Joe Whalen played bass. He's still a good friend. So I think +3 was retired for about 2 years, and one day I got a phone call from Ron. Maybe he could fill you in.
Yeah, I left +3 for working out of the area, and basically when I came back to this area, I was looking to start. I had the itch to start playing again, so I called Mike, see what they were doing. I knew they weren't playing anymore, and then how we got Rick involved.
Well, I ran into Rick in the Best Buy parking lot. That was how that happened. I think his car stereo broke or something.
Hey, you said you want.
We really needed a drummer, so.
Well, I mean, you went to. I mean, I think of maybe when you have that itch to scratch, the first people you call are your guys, right?
Yeah, that was actually a kind of even a struggle at the beginning of this band. Is I kind of missed having the other personality in the band. I would have missed if it wasn't Rick. It's not the same.
Right.
Not having Mike there or Joe was kind of weird for a while.
I mean, I actually called you when I was thinking about putting something together. Remember that?
I remember we had a long talk on the phone one night about how the scene had changed with the live clubs and how everything had shifted. And
Correct.
I remember that conversation. Yeah, so it was a couple of years ago. Well, you've been, I see you playing out all the time. I see you posting your shows on your events on your Facebook, and you got 2 records out. So congratulations!
Thank you. It's actually our 5-year anniversary this month too. Like playing out.
Congratulations!
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary! Let's play another one from Empire in Decline. This one's called "Let's Leave Our Lonely Hearts Behind."
Thinking
+3 here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called By the Sea. Before that, Empire in Decline with a little rockabilly tune there called Let's Leave Our Lonely Hearts Behind. You know, guys, that song By the Sea is really the reason I'm sure we would have met anyway at some point after, but that's how I discovered the band. You guys are playing at nightcaps. I think the Gin Blossoms played at the Kirby Center.
No, it was Lisa Loeb because
Was it
I missed
Lisa
that
Loeb?
show.
All
Because
right.
I went to the Lisa Loeb show.
I knew that I was at the Kirby Center, and then I
Goo Goo
stopped by
Dolls.
nightcaps on. Did I say Goo
It
Goo
was
Dolls?
Goo Goo Dolls and Lisa Loeb.
Yeah, who did I say? I thought it.
That was going to be my first gig with +3, and I could not do it because I had tickets for Lisa Loeb.
Oh yeah, well you may. Hey.
I thought maybe there would be a chance, but
I saw Lisa Loeb backstage at the Lilith Fair in 1997. Yeah, just that's all I give. But anyway, you guys are playing that song By the Sea, and I was like, "What is this? This is good." You know, I really liked the song, and I put something in the paper in my column a week or two later, and then I remember Terry Selders called me. Terry was the manager of the Badleys, and he had read what I wrote in the column. He goes, "Is this band really that good?" I'm like, "Really good," you know. And so, whenever I hear that song, that kind of reminds me of the beginning of our professional relationship and friendship. You know, Rick here is joining us now. Rick Carr is replaced Ron here in the seat. Now, we got a question for you because you've been with these guys from the beginning.
Close to 20 years.
Yeah, John. What did you want to ask him?
Yeah, so you've been with the band between +3 and now Empire in Decline 18 years. What are kind of some of your favorite memories throughout the 18 years?
Definitely the getting on the road, going out to State College, Harrisburg, Philly, Manhattan, just getting out, going for a couple nights.
Missing shows for concerts?
Yes. Yeah, that too.
well, that was not allowed after that. That
You should have a Lisa Loeb clause though in your.
well, I mean, I was supposed to be my first show, so I gave him the.
She's adorable. Anyway, what was it like though? You know, compare going a show at Nightcaps or the old River Grill Waterfront where I used to see you guys play as well, or compare that to going into New York.
I guess
you're not going to have all your friends there. At
yeah,
those
exactly.
shows,
A local show, so many of your friends come out and
Right.
that, and then you get out of town and no one really knows who you are. So we could just bring it and go nuts and do what we had to do and pack up and go home, and it was a blast.
What are some of your favorite recordings with the bands? Either.
Retrace Your Steps would probably be, if I had to pick a favorite, be that one, and probably Normal Town.
Oh yeah,
up there.
Yeah, that is a great song too. I love that one. Let's play another one here from Empire in Decline. This one's called Bye Bye Naïve.
days. Though the years I know, he drinks lots of silver bullets in the moonlight. He's got super hearing. He heard every word you said to me. Local heroes. The cover band takes the stage. Boy, it must be nice to get your money's worth when someone's getting paid. Morning sober. Evening's not so bad. Stop asking questions if you don't have what it takes to be a man. The devil's on my mind. He can't sleep at all. There is no question that the big guy let the angel take the ball. And it won't surprise me if he isn't even looking down at all. Rich get richer. Bachelors troll the bars. Pretty girls are doling out their numbers under a canopy of stars. Weekend's over. Streets are full of snow. It makes me smile when no one else has any better place to go. Vampires on my mind. The old man takes the wheel. If you two kids don't settle down, I'm gonna stop right here and turn this thing around. And it won't surprise me when I lose the lucky penny that I have. Found it on your lawn. You don't believe me that I only think about you when you're gone. And all my eggs are in the basket that you put your laundry on.
Plus 3 here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called Local Heroes. You'd mentioned earlier that you did your last show in 2011 at Concert for a Cause 9, Concert for a Cause 9, and that track was on the record. So I want to thank you guys, for always being a part of that event and contributing a song to the album and playing. And, I know that was a lot of fun for all of us, and you were always a big part of it. So I know it's quite a few years now since we did one, but thanks.
Thank you. We were honored to do it, especially at the beginning. There were only like 10 bands. We were really excited to play.
Well, I probably was from that night in Nightcap, so I was like, I got to get these guys on the bill. They are so good. Before that, we heard a brand new one from Empire in Decline, a song called Bye Bye Naïve. We're going to take a quick break now, hear from our friends from the Woodlands, but we'll be back in a flash with more with Empire in Decline, so stick around.
The Woodlands is celebrating 50 years. Do you believe it? 50 years. For 2 generations of the Kornfeld family, there's a pretty good chance that you or someone you know slept in one of their beds. Over those 50 years, most of you came out and partied with them on the deck for 5 Day, or inside the 25th Hour, or Evolution nightclubs. For 5 decades, how many of you have dined in their legendary Left Bank Bistro or Time Restaurant? And in half of a century, thousands of you celebrated your first dance in the Grand Ballroom. For 50 years, the Woodlands has been reinventing itself, and they're not done yet. Now, they're proud to introduce the area's newest outdoor wedding venue, the Bridal Gardens, and the creation of their Streamside Apartments. The Woodlands wants to thank all of you who got them there and invite you to swing by for sushi, grab some pizza, listen to some live music, or just stop in for a cocktail. They're not slowing down. They promise. They're just getting started. Check them out at thewoodlandsresort.com.
All right, we're back here on Music on the Menu on the River. Always nice to hear from our friends at the Woodlands. They just kicked off their official 50th anniversary celebration event last week. Last Thursday, I was up there. And they got some cool stuff planned throughout the year with music and some events. So, always a great place to hang out. Hanging out here tonight with the guys from Empire in Decline. And Mike, you are the lead vocalist in this group. In +3, you split them with the other Mike Kukowski, but you're doing them all here. So assume you're doing most of the songwriting on the lyrics. What is your inspiration for writing? What's the thing that causes you most often to say, I want to write a song about this?
Well, there's a couple different ways that it happens. There's actually a song on this one that I kind of dreamed, and I woke up and I didn't know if I'd heard it before, so I searched for a while to find out, if I stole it from somewhere. But then there's other ones that I labor over for years. There was a song where I took a chorus from one song and a verse from another song, and then sometimes stuff just comes right to you.
You demo them or you write them down? I mean, something that's a couple of years old. How do you retain that?
Well, I keep lyrics on my computer.
Okay.
It's backed up. And there's many files. And when I have time, if I'm home by myself, I will go and just work on them. It's kind of, sometimes it's great. The whole thing just comes to you. But other times you sit there and literally editing over time.
What you said about the dream, I think I read an interview many years ago with Billy Joel where that would happen to him. He would get these melodies. And, this is before everybody had iPhone, where most people have a smartphone with a recorder on it on your nightstand. But, I read this interview with Billy Joel maybe 25 years. He used to keep a tape recorder on his nightstand.
Right.
If he woke up in the middle of the night and there was like this melody in his head, he would just, wake up and put it on there and go back to sleep because he knew he'd lose it if he went back to sleep.
I keep a tape recorder for, normally I'll be like getting ready for work and I'll be ready to leave the house. I'll have an idea, so I'll just sing it into the thing.
Sing it on the phone and catch it, yeah.
So someday somebody will. I have boxes of cassette tapes like that too. Someday somebody will find that.
That'll be the box set.
One of them, I was driving across the country and I would be singing into the thing for like 5 minutes.
See, now someday that could be the diehard collector's box set.
There's road noise from like 1999.
Available only on VCR.
I wish it worked like a time machine, but unfortunately not.
And when Mike comes to the band with a demo like that, Rick, how does it work from there?
It's like a loose framework, kind of how he wants stuff to go, but we all have, we're allowed to create, use, do whatever we want.
Then it becomes more. Then the collaboration starts.
The best ones are the ones I do not do demos for, and I'll just come in and I'll say it goes like this, and they start playing along. Like our song "Fumble and Flight" off this.
That's what we're gonna play right now.
That's how that went because I knew that was right up our alley. So
that came together easily.
Some of the stuff like the rockabilly stuff, that's not really our bag, so I kind of have to give them a demo. But the stuff stuff like that. They're the best because they happen fast.
Who's your biggest influence? I think I've told you this before, but when I listen to your music sometimes, and I don't know if he's an influence, he could not be, I hear a little Jackson Brown.
Definitely a big Jackson Brown fan, and I would say the Lemonheads from the early 90s. I'm a giant Lemonheads fan, and I'm a giant Rush fan. I don't know if that works into our music or not, but the Lemonheads, and there's a band called the Mysteries of Life who are sort of tied to the Lemonheads that I love, and Buffalo Tom, those bands from like the 90s.
Yeah.
That's definitely our...
I definitely hear the Jackson Brown. Yeah. Even vocally, you know.
I sing along in my car all the time, so that's probably...
You got it down. Let's play that song that Mike was just talking about here. This one's called Fumble in Flight. Empire in Decline here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Fumble in Flight. We've hung out here for the entire hour with the guys from Plus 3, Rick, Mike, and Ron. Thank you guys again for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for the show again on Wednesday night at Breakers, Music on the Menu Live. Anytime that you have a new record out, you're always welcome to come back. So hopefully it won't be the last time you're here with us at Breakers. Be back a year or two down the road. Always welcome to come back.
Absolutely.
John from SSPT, thank you again, and make sure the television version watch for that. And you had one last question for the guys too about, you know.
I do, yeah, guys. For anyone that's out there listening right now, they want to hear more about you guys. Where could they find you? Where they get their music? All that.
Several different ways. You can go on Facebook and like our page. We'd appreciate it. Our website is www.empiredeclineband.com, where we also post all our dates for upcoming shows. And the next couple of shows we have would be March 16th for St. Patrick's Day at Rob's Pub and Grub in Larksville. Then for our Bloomsburg Berwick friends, we have March 23rd at Hogs Hollow and March 30th at the Berwick Brewing Company. So,
Rob, is that on the back road, State Street?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I know that bar. That's a good bar.
Excellent food.
That's not far from my house. Yeah.
That's good. That means you should be at the show then,
It
right?
should be. All right. Guys, thanks again for coming in. It was a pleasure to see you, and look for us on TV, too. We're going to sign off with one more from Empire and Decline. Guys, thanks again. I appreciate it. This one's called Don't Say Anything. We'll catch you next Sunday night.
Loved how hair hangs in your eyes. I never knew just when to say goodbye, but I never could stand a thing you say. I never could seem to get away. Can we make a deal? I need to see you again. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Wanna love you forever. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I wanna love you forever. Tired of trying to be something I'm not. Trying to be good doesn't work for me anymore. And I never could really understand the point of trying to change a man. It's a sickness, and I'm not buying anymore. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I wanna love you forever. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I wanna love you forever. I don't wanna get to know you better. 'Cause I'm trying to forget. So please don't even say a word to me before you make this something